Welcome back, everyone. Today I have gone ahead and set up the fabric a little lower to the floor. Normally I try to have it closer to my knee height, and I've already sampled this. So even though the fabric's almost on the ground, it'll work out today. Right now it's looking like it's coming up to about my ankle, and that is on purpose. So for today's practice, we're going to be sampling Aerial Yin Yoga as kind of a hug sensation. So for today's practice, with the fabric even lower than normal, I'll ask that you cross it once. You're going to make yourself a cute little hammock kind of at the bottom. So the top piece makes an X, and then the bottom piece has this cute little hug sensation. So when your body goes in, it's going to wrap around your body. Okay? So for our first pose, we'll go ahead and cross at the fabric, and then we're going to turn our body around. And keeping the X shape, we're going to bring the fabric to behind our rib cage. So as you start to lay down, you're going to need to open up your fabric, and then also scoot your body to underneath your plumb line. There you go. And this may take a minute to get set up. So when my body lays down, I'll need to open up my fabric, pulling it higher into my ribs to open up the chest, the heart space. You can lengthen out your legs long. You can also try a cobbler's pose. If it feels too big today, always the option to take a bent knee. I think I'll sample it more like a wheel pose. So ribs are fully supported. The fabric is going across our body, and it's going to wrap around our ribs. Fabric pulled up to about underneath your armpit, and then underneath to the bottom of your shoulder blades. Arms can open up, palms up, and we'll just start to breathe. Drawing breath into the heart space. Now remember, if any feelings or sensations arise here, witness them, acknowledge them, and then just let them go. Allow them to drift out of your body on the next exhale. And as with every Aerial Yin class, resist the urge to fidget. Full permission though, if you need to adjust your fabric, something's digging in somewhere, do so. And then settle in. Notice your inhales, notice your exhales. On your next inhale, go ahead into the chest. On the exhale, just put your hands a little closer to your hips and take your whole gaze over your right shoulder. Your left scalene stretch. Inhale, go ahead and bring yourself back to center. A full breath cycle here. Full inhale. And full exhale, let it go. Inhale. On the exhale, let's take the gaze, our head, our eyeballs over to the left-hand side of our body. Only go as far as feels safe for your neck. We're not forcing anything. On your next inhale, bring your gaze back up to center. I'll take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, side away. On your next inhale, we'll prepare to move. We'll slowly start to bring our legs more in front of us. We'll walk our right leg back, step it down. Left leg walks back, step it down. You're going to float your hands to help yourself out. You're going to plant your feet. You're going to lift your hips. And you're going to move the fabric to underneath your hips. So take your time to bring it all the way underneath your hips. Now your hips probably weren't under your plumb line, so you might need to move a little bit. Hips are directly under that plumb line. You'll notice my fabric looks pretty straight here. And then depending on what your hips are feeling today, if you'd like a little more grace, you can always open up your fabric. Let it feel a little wider today. If you got like one spot that's just really sticky, just take a second to finesse the fabric a little wider if that feels better for your body today. We're going to stay here in this bridge pose. So knees are stacked over ankles. You're going to roll your shoulders open and on the back. Try not to let anything crowd into the throat, the heart space. You just did a beautiful job of opening up there. Arms can take T arms, cactus elbows, maybe even just Shavasana arms. You could always rest hand on belly as well. Inhale. On the exhale, surrender the full weight of your hips into fabric. Letting your hips feel heavy, you'll just stay breathing. You'll notice your inhales, you'll notice your exhales. Notice where your body softens. I instantly felt my body start to relax. And maybe that's not the same story for you. Just start to stay curious without judgment of what's going on in your body. The gentle shifts where it feels the most easeful. Now, bridge pose is probably one of the most overlooked pose. It's a beautiful way to open the hips, but sometimes you'll notice that when your hips are higher than your heart, as your hips start to open up, you might feel that extra energy kind of rush up into your throat, into your heart space. A little energy there. Just try to stay with it. Always the option to exhale, open mouth to let go any extra tension. And then go ahead and we'll come to start our body scans. Starting at the crown of the head, moving to the soles of your feet. You just start to scan through your body. Witness and notice any points of sticky or tension as you scan through your body. If you've got a sticky spot, you'll witness it, wave to it. And then just on your next exhale, let it go. As you slide your scan further down your body, releasing another sticky spot. Take your time to open up here. gentle with yourself. And we open the hips, we don't know what comes. We meet it with grace, and then we let it go. Remember, yawning or tears might appear as well. Those are normal. Those are natural release valves in our body. So honor that time and that space to release whatever is not serving you today. Inhale. On the exhale, start to walk your feet closer together. It feels like the soles of the feet come together, and allow your knees to open up wide. Now, I don't like my fabric quite as wide for this, so I'm going to pull it up a little higher. It's still behind my hips though. Don't pull into the spine. You want to use your skeletal structure to open up here. So we're moving into that cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, knees apart. If you like, you can always walk your heels a little further from your body. That creates a little more ease for those hips. Hands can stay wide. They can also rest to your belly. Take the space and shape you need. And then come back to your breath. Always the option, if this feels too big today, to stay in your bridge pose. We won't be here long. Relax the tongue from the top of your mouth. Allow it to rest into your lower belly. On your next inhale, you'll gently start to move. You can heel toe your feet a little wider. Draw your knees back up to center. Feel like you can take one big stretch over the fabric, pointing those and walking those heels forward, pointing those toes forward. I'll take the arms up overhead, big stretch of morning. On the exhale, flip those hands up to find your fabric. We'll bend our knees. We'll walk our feet back. We'll lift our hips and we'll send the fabric to underneath our booty and then all the way down to behind our ankles. Lengthen your legs away and settle right back in. Just a little wiggle here, one more twist before we come off the floor. Inhale, both knees pull into center. On the exhale, we'll take them over to the right. Arms can stretch and reach up overhead. On the exhale, let's take cactus elbows. Elbows open wide, palms are up. Gaze can be to the ceiling. Resetting that low back. Every inhale, notice your body filling up with breath. On the exhale, soften and sink into that newly available space. Stay here. Stay with your breath. mouth, exhale, let it go. On the next inhale, we move our knees back up to center. Exhale, lengthen them out in front of you. Just take a moment to reset that low back. You can always point and flex those toes, take a little wiggle here. When you're ready, you'll pull both knees into your chest. And exhale, we'll take them over to the left this time. And let's take that opportunity to reset the arms. So take the big, big stretch overhead. Exhale, heavy cactus elbows. Palms are up, gaze is up. Make sure our hips stay big. And just take your time on this pose to notice what feels different. We're not judging it though, just kind of having some awareness of maybe the shape of your knees are looking different here, or feeling different here. Come right back to the front. Inhale, we're filling up, creating space. On the exhale, we soften and sink into that newly available space. Notice that softens. Go ahead and take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, side away. Inhale, we'll bring both knees back up to center. And exhale, lengthen them back out in front of you. You can take a wiggle or a sway them. We've done both hips, so it might feel good to do just a bigger movement or a stretch. Waking up the side bodies as well. When you're ready, right foot comes out of fabric. Just let your left ankle stay for a moment. We'll let that leg take its own independent wiggle. And not forcing anything, just allow your leg to come to slow in its swing. From here, big bend in your left knee, and we're gonna go ahead and take our foot out of fabric. You're gonna need your hands to escape your fabric. Go ahead and let your fabric unwind. Fabric to come right about at your belly. Arms to come up overhead, point your toes away, maybe roll out your wrists. On the exhale, we'll flip those hands to find our fabric. I like to swirl them in and collect my fabric. I walk my feet back. I tuck chin to chest. And I use my fabric to help me to come all the way up. At the top, we'll go ahead and scoot ourselves back just a little bit. And we're gonna take it into locust pose. So it's like that long body forward fold over the fabric. But again, today we're working on that cross, that X shape with our fabric. So creating that more hug sensation. So before you get into fabric, I'll need you to cross your fabric and make me that cute little loop for your body. I'll recommend put the fabric in one hand and help yourself up with the other. From here, you're just gonna walk your body in. It'll be a little awkward because your fabric's gonna try to untwist. Yeah, there you go. Then from here, fabric goes into your hips. And don't worry about where it travels as we lay our body down. We're gonna walk our legs out. We're gonna bring our head and thighs down to the mat. And when your forehead touches down, now's your opportunity to finesse your fabric. So I wanted my fabric right in my hip flexors. My hoodie's in the way. So fabric right in those hip flexors. So below your hip bone, but above your pubic bone. And today, I don't necessarily want to be straight under my plumb line. I'm going to use my toes and come up just a little bit, and then just have a little more pulled back sensation. So I'll bring my hands underneath my right cheek, and I will lay my head and neck down fully supported in my fabric. Take your time to wiggle, to itch your nose. And then we'll just settle right back in. If you like, you can always just put your cheek down on the mat if that feels better in your body. And settle in. Notice the belly on the floor. It's a very grounding sensation. Every inhale, you fill up, your belly presses into the mat. On the exhale, you get heavier in those hips. On your next inhale, you're just going to pick up your head. And you're slowly going to rotate to look to the right-hand side of you. If you like, you can restack your hands, reposition them, or just place your left cheek down on the mat. If you'd like to take another wiggle in your hips or in your fabric, finding a new sticky spot, you could do that as well. We'll take a full breath to settle in. Exhale, start to soften and sink into your fabric. Come back to your body scan. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and pick up our head and bring our forehead to the mat for just a moment. You're going to bring your hands to underneath your shoulders. Tops of the feet go down, knees goes down as well. Inhale, press yourself up for a cobra pose for just a moment. If you like, you can use your toes to help yourself up. Hips down, heart space opens up. Roll up the head, the neck while you're here. If that feels good. Elbows are soft. Inhale. On the exhale, knees get heavier. You're going to lift up your hips and maybe walk your knees the distance of your mat. Hips go back, take a child's pose. Fabric can land wherever it does. If you don't like it, you can always come out of fabric and take a traditional child's pose. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, go ahead and press into your palms, and you'll start to walk your hands back. And you'll gently take yourself out of fabric. That crisscrossed out, you're going to need to help yourself out. We'll come to sit on our mat. We'll roll our shoulders open and onto the back. We'll bring our hands to heart center. We'll take a bow. Showing love and gratitude for the day's practice. Thank you so much for coming in, for taking the time to just reset the body, reset the mind, and really allow yourself this space to appreciate yourself, to hug yourself, and to surrender. Inhaling fully. On the exhale, re-release. Find whatever moves, wiggles, or words you need, and welcome yourself back to the here and the now. Take your time. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. I'll see you next week.